Get ready for a no BS approach to health and fitness. This is NBS Fitness Radio.
All right, what's up? We are back on NBS Fitness Radio, and I'm here with a good buddy, Rick Mccracken. Rick owns Eat Amplified. It's a meal prep company here in Memphis, Tennessee. Say hi, Rick.
Hello.
Very cool, man. So first, I'd like to hear kind of like your story with fitness, like how you just got involved with exercising and kind of what your story has been, how it's been involved in your life.
Well, honestly, I mean, for most people, whole life, started in athletics very early. I was always really tiny. I mean, like my freshman year, I weighed like maybe 100 pounds of high school. So at 5 years old, my mom put me in wrestling. Okay. And so I wrestled all the way till I was like 25, 24. So
you wrestled in college?
Yep.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to Iowa Central and then Central Missouri State University.
Very cool.
So,
are you from Memphis?
No.
Okay.
No. I was born in Chicago and grew up in Iowa, so the Midwest.
Okay, very cool. So when did you move to Memphis?
I moved to Memphis probably about 15 years ago. I did my internship here for college. Okay. And then moved out to the East Coast and worked there for a couple of years and been like, I really loved Memphis. I'm going back.
Okay. Very cool. So did athletics kind of growing up, did you kind of fall in love with like the weight room then? I mean, or like how much of the weight room was part of like training for wrestling?
Well, honestly, I didn't really fall in love with the weight room until like, I think I was like a freshman in high school. Okay. It was just like, cause like back then, like things weren't readily available. Yeah. Like there wasn't a gym on every corner. Yeah. And gyms were just sweaty, just no AC, crazy back then in the 90s and stuff like that. And so I really didn't even know about lifting weights until I got in high school. I was like, whoa, what is this stuff?
Did y'all start doing it for wrestling?
We did off-season workouts for wrestling, because you don't really want to hit the gym too hard during the season because there's just so much wear and tear on your body anyway.
Yeah, I didn't know that was how it was introduced to y'all through wrestling.
Yes.
Okay, very cool. How did it evolve kind of like out of college?
Well, it evolved just because like results. You're like, oh, this is what it does to you. Awesome. I'm going to keep doing this. Okay. And looking back though, I'm like, such an idiot. Like I remember I trained arms like every single day.
Of course. I think I saw a meme the other day that said like, if you can't look back on yourself, if you can't look back on your younger self and realize you're an idiot, you're still an idiot. Yeah.
I do that like how I was last week sometimes.
Okay. So, have you competed in anything kind of along the way?
Not really. I mean, I've done some races that are fun and, no bodybuilding shows or strength competitions or anything like that.
Okay. When did you get involved with nutrition and kind of cooking and all that?
Well, I've always been in cooking, like pretty much my whole life. My mom was a really awesome cook. My sisters were really lazy. So I kind of helped her in the kitchen and stuff like that. But I think I saw it as a business probably like about 8 years ago. Okay. Just kind of started seeing that this could morph into a big business. So
what were you doing before that?
I was in the restaurant business, just running a restaurant.
Okay, gotcha.
So, and just wanted to be like, this isn't for me.
Yeah. You know? Okay, so you kind of were already in the food industry. You kind of realized like, maybe there's an opportunity here.
Absolutely. Just saw a different way food was going, or not a different way, but I saw a little branch that the fitness industry was creating for food. Yeah.
So kind of talk through that, because I know you were originally involved in, was it Ultimate Foods?
Ultimate Foods, yes.
Yeah, so kind of talk through kind of that business life as you kind of went through all those different progressions.
Yeah, that taught me a lot about business, friendship, and what to do and what not to do. So it was a good learning experience.
What was Ultimate Foods like? What was kind of y'all's business model? Like, what was the goal with that?
Our goal with that was we wanted to just put a bunch of brick and mortar stores up everywhere, and just we wanted to create such a healthy lifestyle for people. Just give people another option, because eating healthy at that time, you could only do it by yourself.
Yeah.
There was no meal prep company in Memphis. We were the first one, and if you had to eat healthy, you would have to do everything yourself.
Yeah.
So
you want to create kind of a meal prep company where people could go and grab the foods themselves.
Yeah.
Like if they were looking for a lunch to get on the go, instead of going to a fast food restaurant, they could stop by there, grab a healthy meal. Or if they wanted to go ahead and grab meals for like the week, they could show up and grab it.
Yeah. We gave them the options of everything was grab and go right there. We gave the options of delivery and everything. So, we really saved you tons and tons of time. That was our whole thing. I mean, the eating healthy thing was just a bonus, just because you have to do everything yourself now. So we're like, we save you at least 6 to 8 hours in the kitchen, shopping, dishes, cleanup, all that.
Yeah, I think the modern day kind of American probably desires to eat healthy, but it's that overcoming that initial like knowledge barrier and time barrier, trying to figure out like, okay, how do I prep this food? How do I make good choices? How do I shop for it? How do I have variety that's not the same thing every single time?
Yeah, because that's where people kind of get killed on, is like, you could go home and you could make chicken, rice, and broccoli, and you could spend just a little bit of money and you could have food for the whole week, but you're eating chicken, rice, and broccoli every day.
Yeah. And especially when people like don't have kitchen skills, or like, that's not something they've already done before, then they're like, this is the one thing I know how to make. And then they're like, I'm getting so tired of chicken, rice, and broccoli.
And then that, on one hand, that discourages a lot of people, because they're like, crap. So they automatically get a predisposition that eating healthy is not fun, or it's not good.
Yeah. It becomes like a negative connotation. It's like dieting is like, ugh. It's like I have to give up good tasting food, which is like not the case at all.
Well, it's not even close.
Yeah. So then also, like you say, like a lot of people don't have, or their schedules don't have that like space in there to take, to prep all meals, like to take a 3 hours on a Sunday to prep everything. So
everyone I know that does the meal prep themselves, it's Sunday. And it's like, and it always takes them 2 hours longer than they think. And then, one of my friends is telling me, and he gets food from me sometimes, but when he forgets, he cooks his own, and he's like, those are the weeks I dread.
You're like, crap. Yeah, because it's because you end up giving up your Sunday, like your day of rest, to
like how much of a
prep all day.
How much is an hour of your time worth? And that take that times 6, and those are hours of rest or family enjoyment or just having fun.
Yeah.
Those are priceless hours. Those are worth like 10 times what a work hour's worth.
Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah. And I think that's one of the nice things about kind of like modern day society is like you can contract out these things that you don't necessarily want to do. It's like even for me, like yard service, like, could I cut my lawn? Yes. And would I save some money doing it? Yes. But like, I want my weekends to spend with my family, not be like, I have to cut my lawn every weekend. Right.
I enjoy,
some people love doing it. And I said, that's fine. But like, for me, I'm like, I'll pay the guy, not necessarily because I don't want to cut my lawn, but I'll pay the guy because I want my weekend.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You have to look at that. You're like, okay, it's 3 hours, and it's 3 hours of crappy, like heat. So it's not fun, and you're like, okay, is it worth it? I mean, people, sometimes you have to sit down and look at things and see if it's worth it. Like, as I get busier and busier, our business is taking off. We just opened another business too, and it's like, I did see a meme the other day that it's like, you're not busy, you're lazy and unorganized. And I was like, damn, is that me? So
yeah, I'm actually about to do a talk with our staff about, so that whole meme, like, you're not busy, you're just disorganized, is more like it's more like organization along with prioritization, because there's so many things that could pull you in a million different directions, and then a lot of times like you have this desire to like do everything because you can, or it's just this desire to kind of like be involved in too much versus going like, okay, let me prioritize things here. And then once you like prioritize, you're like, that thing would be cool, but it's not priority number one. So then I pass on it. And then you don't feel as like overwhelmed because you're like, that's not a priority.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm at the semi-overwhelmed stage right now. And I'm like, I just got to like laser focus.
Yeah. What were some of the lessons that you learned in the first business that helped you kind of now in your second business?
Always look ahead. Like, and I tell everybody this, like, it's one of my, when I bring people into the kitchen, they kind of, and my little spiel talking to them, I have all my pans lined up, right? And the first pan I bought, we were making chili at the time, right? And it was like, about a 6-quart pan.
Yeah.
And then 3 weeks later, I grew out of that. I needed a 12-quart. Then a month later, I needed a 20-quart. And pretty soon, I have an 80-quart pot.
Gosh.
So, and it was 10 pans, and they're about $70 a piece once you start giving up the big ones. And I was like, if I just would have been smart, and I went from there to there, I would have saved $800 in between.
Yeah.
Now, do I use every single pot when I work? Yes.
Yeah.
But it's, that's the whole thing. Looking ahead, like when we got this new building, we bought it, and it's huge. And my wife is like, there's no way we need that. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
And now we're in there, and we're renting out space to other people with our new business. Now it's like, oh, this is exactly why we got it.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. That's definitely a good lesson for business owners. Like the money you're trying to save today, if you try to go cheap or save money today, it's like, it's almost always going to bite you in the ass on the back end. It's better to just buy the thing
100% of the time.
Make the investment, buy the nice thing now, buy the thing that you'll need in the future. Without going ridiculous, but purchasing for the future versus necessarily just purchasing for the here and now.
Yeah, I get it. This here and now thing's 500, and the future thing's 2,000.
Yeah,
but you're going to have to buy that.
You have to buy it at some point, anyways.
Yeah.
What about the brick and mortar aspect? Did y'all have any plans of doing that? Oh
yeah, it's almost built.
Okay, very cool.
I got pictures of it. So
all right.
They laid the flooring last week, and then we have the coolers we're putting.
Is this in the same building?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So it's the prep, the kitchen where you do all the prep, and a place where people can just come by and grab the food as well.
Yeah. So basically, it's a 6,500 2-bay building that I just killed out the middle wall, put a door there, so they're connected. One side's a cook side, the other side's a prep side, and in the front of the prep side, we did like a 500, maybe 1,000 square foot brick and mortar store.
Very cool. So what's the difference between the cook side and the prep side? So the cook side is where all the cooking is being done, and then the prep side is a bunch of countertops where you're able to kind of...
Honestly, 10 degrees.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah.
I wanted I've been in community kitchens before, and it's like, you'll have some people in there just cooking everything, every burner and oven's on, and I have 16 ovens.
Yeah.
40 burners, and when it's cranking, everything's on, it's a kitchen.
Yeah, it's hot.
So if somebody's coming in just to prep some food or mix up, some cookie dough that they're going to proof later or anything, they don't want to be over here. They want to be over here where it's nicer, quiet. It's 71 degrees.
Yeah.
It's nice. So
that makes sense. What so kind of talk about kind of the transition into your current meal prep business, Eat Amplified, and what your goal for that one is, and kind of talk about kind of that story.
Okay. So we after, things kind of went the way they did, was kind of didn't want to do food anymore, and I had a really nice corporate job and stuff like that. But I just loved working for myself. It's just one of those things you're like, this is what I do. This is awesome. Like if I don't have to do anything today, I don't.
Yeah.
You always want to. So I started making some food for some friends, and, they begged me, finally got me to do it. And then, like 2 days later, they're like, hey, we got some more. And it just started going up from there. And, when we decided to start Amplified, I sat down. I was like, these were all the things good about Ultimate Foods.
Yeah.
And I go, that was great, but what can be better?
Yeah.
And that's what we focused on, is what were the things that could be better.
Yeah.
Like we brought in the custom meal component of it, and that was huge, because that was one of the biggest complaints at Ultimate Foods. Like if you had to have your macro set for each meal was like 40-40-10 or something like that, you just had to get close.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, this is 48, 49, 15, close enough.
Yeah.
And so you could never get right on. Now that we introduced the custom component, you could hit those numbers perfectly on everything.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. I mean, so like, and kind of for the set menu, it's a great option for people who are kind of trying to just start eating healthy. It's like you need to just change out like eating bad food for good food.
Yeah.
And then, but eventually you kind of get to the point you're like, okay, in order to make more progress or get lean or whatever, like your goals are, if you have to dial it in a little bit more, then actually measuring out and knowing exactly what's going into your body is kind of a necessity a lot of times.
Oh yeah.
And that's where like the meal prep for yourself becomes such a pain in the butt. and the time component becomes so much bigger, because like now you're not just making the food, the prep is like weighing, measuring, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So how did y'all overcome that at scale? Like what's what is, how do y'all do that? Like how have y'all been able to do that on a broad base?
It's pretty cool, actually. We had a customer of mine. She needed a job, and she came in and worked for us for about 6 months. She loved it, but when she came in, she's like, "Oh my Lord, this is how you do everything." Yeah. Because like it's like when you get custom meals and stuff, you kind of just think, oh, we just like make your stuff and do all yours and it's aside. But it's like, no, we have 12 different proteins, and that's what causes that we put those in groups. So everybody works on like chicken at one time. Yeah. And they split everything up. So the food's not out there for very long at all. Yeah. And that's our whole process, is work on it, get it out. Yeah. So everybody works on chicken, and everybody splits it up, and they have all the carbs, and they just measure it all out, box it up. It goes on a cart, and it goes right in the cooler.
So when you're doing the chicken, are you cooking it all, setting it out, and then going ahead and like cutting it into, let's say, like 1 ounce? No. So so then one person's sitting there going like, this specific meal needs 40 grams, and they're measuring that and putting in that. Okay.
So basically, we cook everything, and it goes in the cooler. Yeah. So we cook it. It comes out at 165 degrees. That's when chicken's done. We get it right at it. So we don't want it to get any more dry than it should. Yeah. And then it goes like right in the cooler.
Immediately into the cooler.
Yeah. So that's going to lock in everything. That's going to make it cool quicker. Yeah. And then when everything's cool, we bring it out, we cut it, then it goes back in the cooler. Okay. And then that's when we bring it out, and everybody has like 6 or 7, like an average chicken dish. I think we probably have like 140 of them. Yeah. So we have about 6 custom meal people, and everybody takes about 20, and they just rip it out.
Okay, and they're just
yep.
So they got like their list of they got like a printout with like their list of meals that they're making. Or
no, it's right on the
on the
yeah.
So like they're getting the container with the label on it, and go, cool, I'm adding.
Yep. So they'll pick up yours. It'll say David Allen, 8 ounces of chicken, 2 cups of basmati rice, and 4 ounces of zucchini.
And so when they're doing chicken, they're just 8 ounces of chicken in there.
Yep. Pass it on.
Next one, 8 ounces of chicken. Okay. Yep. Hey, that's pretty cool.
It is. It's a nice little assembly line that it's pretty fast.
Very cool. How do y'all go about like new meal creation? When you're coming up with new recipes and everything, like how's all that work?
Honestly, man, I look on the internet. I learned a long time ago that you don't have to recreate the wheel.
Yeah.
It's there, and everybody's like, oh, I need some recipes. I'm like, just Google it. There's like a billion. Like,
there's not a lack of recipes.
people ask me all the time. I'm like, no, I'm not going to give you any. I go online.
Yeah.
They'll have a million more than I have.
Yeah.
And you just look at the ratings.
Yeah.
Like if they got, 45 5-star reviews, guess what?
Yeah.
It's good.
Well, so then how do you go about like menu creation?
So I go on and I find good dishes, and then I like print them off, and then I start with I got a red pen.
Yeah.
And I start marking off the stuff that's not healthy.
Yeah.
And in college, one of my minors was experimental foods. So you just go in, what that is taking out certain ingredients and putting in certain ones.
Yeah.
See if it's the same consistency and taste,
Yeah.
but it's a healthier ingredient.
Okay.
So basically, that's what I do. I go down, I take all the bad stuff out, I put in good stuff, we make it, and if it's still good,
Then you're right. This is
Yep.
Is that kind of what y'all did with like the protein balls?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Very cool.
yeah. So
So you find a recipe that's like a not healthy one,
Mm-hmm.
start replacing some of the unhealthy stuff with healthy stuff, and then you're like, hey, this works.
yeah. I mean, what do people love? They love lasagna. All right, can we make it healthy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom, big seller.
That's awesome.
So-
Okay. What are your kind of like biggest or most popular meals? What are the ones that people are like, I love this one?
Okay, so the most popular one that we took off was the lasagna.
Okay. Yeah, took it off.
Well, you had to. It was on our menu for a year.
Okay.
And
you're like,
it's like people. I wouldn't say people bitch, but they're like, oh, revamp the menu, and then you do it. They're like, why'd you take off the lasagna?
that's the one thing I didn't. Yeah.
So that's always been our most popular one.
And what are the things you changed out on that?
So we use a different noodle,
Okay.
and then usually when you do a lasagna, you have 2 or 3 layers of noodles.
Yeah.
We put it down to just 1 layer noodle for the bottom, which is you need the most stability down there to create the dish.
Yeah.
And then for the second layer of noodles, we would use thinly sliced zucchini and squash.
Ah, okay.
So that cut about, I'd say 50 or 60
Percent
calories. Calories
Yeah,
from
yeah.
it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and about 30 to 40%, at least 30 to 40% of the carbs.
Okay.
So,
Very cool.
and then, taking out the 80-20 ground beef for 93.7 turkey.
Yeah.
And we'd make our own marinara. That was, we wouldn't use sugar.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So that's just the little things that you could do that makes, cut the calories like half.
Yeah.
So, but still give you a sense that you're eating a really good lasagna.
Yeah, I mean, the lasagna was super tasty.
Yeah. And now we have a white chicken lasagna. So,
Yeah. And you could tell, I mean, and I think you could tell it was a different lasagna, but not in the sense of like, not that you're like, this is okay. It didn't feel like you were dieting or
Yeah.
like eating bad food. It was like, this is like really tasty food. I can tell it's healthier. It's still tasty, and yeah, I love it.
yeah, was it as good as Rizzo's lasagna or, something like that? No, it's not.
But it also didn't like, you didn't have that like, I just ate lasagna, I'm gonna take a nap
Yep.
feeling.
I need a 30-minute nap now.
Exactly. Very cool. What are some of the struggles that you've kind of come across with kind of doing this on your own? Like, what were some kind of major like learning points where you're like, we're doing it this way, that didn't work, now we got to do this, or kind of some of those moments?
Well, it wasn't really on my own. So Molly's been with me the whole time.
Well, I guess they're not on your own, but like kind of doing it
a new way,
yeah,
different
a
way.
new-
Yeah.
new way.
Honestly, it was like the kitchen space.
Yeah.
That's been the hardest thing because like we until now, and we're a pretty successful business now, we haven't been able to afford to have our own kitchen.
Right.
And that like we bounced around.
Yeah, I remember y'all going to a bunch of
Oh,
different
it's
kitchens.
crazy. And it's just like, when we started, we would have to I would have to buy everything, keep it at my house, and then my friend didn't use his kitchen on Sundays.
Yeah.
So we'd have to get in there like 5 a.m. I'd load up my truck with everything, we drive there. God forbid you forget something.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So drive there, cook everything, cool it down, deliver it that day.
Yeah, that's just a rough Sunday.
Rough Sunday.
So then you kind of bounced around a couple different kitchens, and finally just were like, yeah, you know what? Like, we just got to make this investment and just do it at our own place or get our own place.
Well, I looked at just kind of the whole picture. I go, what other business can we do? And I like the community kitchen thing because I do think meal prep is a viable business going forward, but I wanted to have also an ace in my sleeve as well.
Well, if you're going to take on the giant risk and expense of buying a building, it's also nice to have some other revenue streams to kind of help cover that cost.
Absolutely. And that's kind of what we're going with this. So we kind of killed two birds with one stone. We got ourselves our home, our 100% home, our own kitchen, and then I'm bringing in another revenue stream to help offset the cost of the kitchen.
Yeah. So tell everyone what the name of this new business is, the kitchen that you have.
It's called Memphis Kitchen Co-op, MKCO.
Very cool. Got the hat on for people watching it. And talk about kind of the need for that, or the kind of community around people who are branching out and doing their own, creating their own food products and then taking them to farmers markets and all that kind of stuff. Talk about how that's changed and how you saw that as a potential business.
Well, a couple different ways on that. So, a lot of people make food in their homes, right? And sell it. Well, it's illegal because you can't get insurance.
Right.
So let's say you got a friend and they make pies and stuff, and you're buying it from their house, and then God forbid you get sick and got to go to hospital. If you bought that from me, I'd be like, oh man, so sorry. Here's my insurance. They're going to cover it.
Yeah.
Your friend out of their house is like,
they won't. The insurance company won't insure you out of your house.
Yeah, they won't insure you. Yeah. So there's that on that aspect. But the analogy I kind of tell people, let's say you got Aunt Sally, and every Thanksgiving you guys have her sweet potato pie, and you're like, Jesus, this is amazing. You should sell this. Yeah. So after the next Thanksgiving, she's like, God, David, you're right. Yeah. Okay. So then she goes out and she's like, okay, I found a kitchen to rent. It's $2,500 a month. Okay. Ooh, I got a $5,000 oven. I got the stove, $2,000. All my other incidentals and kitchen equipment, that's another, $2,000-$3,000. Insurance going to be $800. Yeah. My electric bill is going to be $1,000. Right now, Aunt Sally is in just the startup cost before she even makes a single sweet potato pie, $12,000 to $13,000. Yeah, not many people can do it.
It doesn't make viable sense, to go and buy your own kitchen.
Well, and she's not established.
To make that one thing.
Yeah, she's not established yet. Well, you could just come to me, pay me $700 a month. Yeah, I have the insurance ready to go for you. And a lot of people don't know. They're like, okay, I want to make this. How do you do it? Business license, insurance, Department of Agriculture. You got to do all these things. Yeah. But I already have all that stuff written down, ready to go for you. So we make it really easy. Memphis Kitchen Co-op is kind of like a small business food incubator. Yeah. So we can help you become successful like we were with a little bit of work. We also brought in an in-house marketing company that does all our marketing in-house. Yeah. So,
and not to mention, it's a heck of a lot better to go and do that somewhere else away from your house where you're not making a mess in your own house or you're dealing with kids or whatever, and you can go and just hey, this is the place where I do business and where I create, and then take it from there.
Yeah. And two other points on that. If you fail with us, you're not out hardly anything.
Yeah. Just the rent, the cost of renting the space.
Yeah. So if you would have signed a 2 or 3 year lease and you would have failed in month 4, guess what you're on the hook for? Yeah. 2 to 3 year lease. Right. So, we are a safety net for you. And then one of the other really great things we're doing is our brick and mortar store. Amplified, we're using that as everyone else's brick and mortar
Yeah, I was
store.
going to ask. Yeah, so like they can sell their products in that store.
Yes.
and they kind of expose themselves to more people.
Yeah, so we're just giving you an avenue.
Yeah.
It's going to be your own little tiny spot in a store. So it's just an avenue to get your product out there. You know, one of the things we didn't want to do is we've been in a couple community kitchens, and it's like, it's the first. Here's your key. Pay us our money. We'll see you in 30 days.
Yeah.
We didn't want to create something like that. We want to be like, hey, what help do you need? You need marketing? I got you.
Yeah.
Oh, you need the Department of Agriculture? Here's William Wallace's number. You need insurance help?
His name's William Wallace?
Yes, it is.
That's awesome.
I know. Every time I see him, I'm like, freedom.
Great name. So do then when they rent the space, is there like a set? Do like they say, hey, these are the times I'm going to come in, like, or is it just kind of come and use it whenever you can?
Well,
like,
no, we don't want
okay,
that.
yeah, so that seemed like it'd be a little crazy.
It's chaos.
Yeah.
So you just honestly, we have this really awesome program. You just go online and
book your time.
Well, it's you bring up a map of the kitchen and you're like, I want this, and we have all the tables broken down in pods.
Yeah.
And then all the equipment, so you could like click on this table pod, and you want that table pod from like 10 to 4 on Monday, and then you're going to need one stove and one oven. You click on both of them. You reserved it.
Bam. That's awesome.
Yeah. So it just takes the guesswork out, because that was one of the problems we had in other kitchen. People would come in, and let's say your time slot's from 8 to 2.
Yeah.
And then you usually get 20 orders.
Yeah.
Well, today you got 40.
Yeah.
Guess what's going to happen at that 2 o'clock?
You're pushing
You're
past
going to blow right past that. Well, they got people coming in right at 2.
Right.
So that's going to push them back.
Yeah.
You know, and when I created this kitchen space, I wanted to make it so we could have 12 people in there at one time.
Oh, wow.
Well, more than 12 people, but 12 groups.
12, yeah. 12 different people.
Kitchens.
Yeah.
12 different bits cooking at the same exact time.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
And I bet there's a cool, like, community aspect of that, because you all feel like you're in there, like,
Just making it happen.
Making it happen. A bunch of entrepreneurs, like, in the food business, like, just doing it.
Yeah, that's how we don't have that yet at mine, because we just now open it up this week.
Yeah.
But at the last kitchen, that's really how it was.
Yeah.
You know, you just have some, because I'd say 90% of those people that were in the kitchen still had some sort of either 9 to 5 or other part-time job.
Yeah.
And this was like, I don't want to say side hustle, but this is like their thing that they were trying to make their main.
Yeah, well, they're that's the thing that they enjoy doing and are passionate about doing, but it's not paying the bills yet. So you got to find a way to kind of get there.
Yeah.
What and then so for then Eat Amplified, now you guys aren't. Now y'all still trying to make everything on like the Sunday, or like how do y'all
No, we split it all in 3 days.
Okay.
So
then the orders are in by Thursday.
Yep.
So then are you purchasing Friday?
Yep. Friday morning we go out and shop and have everything come in. We put it in our orders Thursday night, and they get delivered on Friday morning.
So are y'all going out and buying, or y'all getting like
both?
Okay, so you got like Cisco or something to come and
Cisco
deliver.
restaurant. Cisco and Off the Dock
Yeah.
deliver to us, and then a couple produce places also deliver, and then I pick up
Nice.
everything at Restaurant Depot and Sam's.
Nice. Okay. And then is Saturday prep day, or
Friday's prep day.
Friday's
Prep and cook.
cook and prep day.
Yeah.
And then Saturday,
We put it all together.
when you say put it all together, meaning like you putting the meals together,
Yep.
or okay.
Yeah.
And then Sunday's delivery.
Yep.
And okay, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's easier to break it out in that. So,
Yeah, because you're probably not doing a 15, 16-hour day each of those days.
well,
maybe you
we could. No, I've been in restaurants my whole life. And I don't know if you ever worked in a restaurant, but the mentality is in a restaurant, if it takes 6 people to do it, we're going to schedule 3,
yeah.
because I mean, there's not a lot of room for, I guess, money to be made.
Margin, yeah.
Yeah, there's not. The margins are real thin in a restaurant.
Yeah.
And it's a little different for me. Like, if it takes 4 people to do something, I schedule 7 to do it. Well, I really want people to enjoy it. Like, if you go in the back of a restaurant kitchen, no one is smiling.
Yeah, everyone just
Well, they're moving 100 miles an hour, but everybody is just, it's intense, you know, and I don't want that. I want people to still be able to talk and have fun.
Yeah.
And, whoa, is that tough? Psh, put 2 people on it. We'll rip it out quick, you know, because, you know, you're getting paid to work, but I also want it to be semi-enjoyable. It's work. It's freaking work, you know.
Work's work, but it's a lot better if it's not overwhelming work.
Yeah.
And easier for you as a business owner to not have to constantly replace employees because they're just like, I can't do this, it's burning me out.
Yeah, and that's our thing. Like, I don't know, in the last 2 years I've had maybe 2 people quit.
Yeah.
You know, it was just, that's how it is.
Yeah.
So it's not nice, not, you know, we pay people well, and then I want it to be easy work.
Yeah. How the pandemic affect y'all at all? Did it make your business go up, down?
We actually,
or what?
we trended exactly how we were supposed to trend.
Okay.
Still going up. So we had about a 20 to 30% increase.
Okay. I didn't know if more people kind of being at home and going out less, they were like, hey, I need some meals.
Well, yeah, I think we that first 2 weeks of the pandemic was nuts for us.
Yeah.
Because like product was almost impossible to find, and then we like it was a 50% increase. We weren't ready for that.
Yeah, just boom, shot up. Yeah, you're like, oh crap.
Yeah, I was like, is this how it's? Ugh. You know, you want to get busy, but you don't want to get too busy.
You don't want to grow faster than you can accommodate that growth. Smoothly, so to say.
Yeah. Growing pains are not fun. I promise you.
They're a lot better than failing pains.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Trust me, I've had those too. So it's nice to know both sides.
Very cool. Well, any kind of new products or new meals or any kind of new things y'all kind of have in the future planned?
Yeah, actually, this is the first week. We just changed the menu. We changed all the breakfasts and the pasta salads.
Okay, very cool.
So that just went live this week. So really cool stuff. We got like a buffalo chicken pasta salad and some really awesome new breakfasts.
I bet that's good.
Yeah, it's going to be killer. And then I think we're doing another menu change here in about a month on all the other regular dishes.
Very cool.
So,
I was thinking like, but back when you first started, like the orders were placed by texting Richard.
Oh, Jesus.
And now it's all through the website. How's all that work?
Well, I tell you what. So that's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
So now there's no mistakes.
Yeah.
Which is good because like it takes the human element out of it, because I don't care how thorough I was, you know, like texts come in so differently.
Yeah.
And
everyone's got their own different way of ordering.
And
whatever.
and if I look, I was like, oh, is that a 4 or 2? You know, and it's just sometimes you miss it. So I would screw up orders constantly.
Yeah.
You know, not constantly, but more than I wanted to.
It's a lot of hard, I mean, you're having to sit there and or personally filter every order.
But, you know, the thing on that is I was involved in everyone.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like now, this is back then, I knew everybody. You know, they would talk to me like 5 times a week on text, and I felt really like I knew everybody.
Yeah.
Now, you know, I get 250 orders in, and I don't even know. I was like, oh, John ordered this week, you know? And it's like, you know, and I don't see any of that stuff now because it just comes through, and I just see numbers now.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I mean, that's the same case in my business. But I mean, that's kind of something you got to do as you scale up.
Well,
it's hard to be personally involved with every client.
Yeah. When you first started, you were here again. Oh, you're still here just as much, but you were on the floor.
Oh, it was 84 hours a week when we first opened. That was in the other building. But no, I was doing every sale.
Yeah.
You know, engaging with every new client and all that kind of stuff, handling all the any client like account stuff, and now, you know, scaled up and have managers and staff to do all that stuff. So there are times where I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna introduce myself to you because I've seen you in here a couple of times and I don't recognize you. But that, I mean, so I definitely get being a little less personally involved on the day to day, but it's kind of necessary.
But, you know, to counteract that, my cell phone number and name is right on the website.
Yeah.
Like, and you do the same thing too. Like, I still love, like, I handle every problem immediately.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody emails me or texts, like, hey, something's wrong, boom, I'm on. And people appreciate that. You know, they're like, wow, you called me right away.
Yeah, you called me back.
Yeah.
Thanks. Very
Within
cool.
a minute. So I'm still as involved personally as I can be, because I feel strongly on that. But you have to be, I feel, you know, I'll never be, you know, no matter how busy we get, I feel like I still need to be there 100%.
You definitely gotta have your pulse on the business. You know, you can't be like completely disassociated.
Oh, no. I cook everything.
Yeah.
Like, people don't realize, like, I run, when I'm in the kitchen, I have, you know, I have about 20 people in the kitchen with me, but I'm the one that runs all 8 ovens.
Yeah.
So everything goes through me. So if your protein was screwed up, that was me.
What's your own personal favorite meal that y'all do?
Honestly, I'm on the steak salad kick right now.
Okay.
I'll do steak salad almost every day if I could.
Yeah.
And it's this week. I think I ordered like 4 of them. So.
Do you, I mean, how often do you now cook for yourself now that you cook professionally? I mean, you always kind of cook professionally. I've seen that you've done a couple meals, but like when you get home, are you like, I'm not cooking, or are you like, hey, let's go out to enjoy something, or like?
Well, honestly, so 80% of our food is amplified meal prep food.
Right. Yeah.
So you got our fridge is just full of it.
Yeah.
And then I'll cook probably maybe once or twice a week.
Okay.
So I've, you know, a little daughter, so I usually cook her breakfast. I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try to do at least twice a week. We
Okay.
try not to go out to eat that much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice, but you know, I get like, you do waves. You're like, oh, we went out to eat like 6 times in the last 3 weeks. And then you're like, oh, good, we only went out like once.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was joking with like someone the other day that it's like, man, I miss going to Outback. Jennifer and I would go to Outback all the time when we were single and living in Cordova. I was like, but now with 3 kids, like it's a big deal to go out to eat. So
it's an adventure.
You gotta be like, okay, who's the babysitter I can convince to like come and watch 3 kids under 3, you know? And then you kind of feel like, you know, if we're gonna go out, we're gonna go out.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Go somewhere nice. Because it's like we're gonna get it like once a month. I'm definitely not taking them anywhere to eat. So.
No way. Have you taken them somewhere yet?
Not
As
all
a family?
3 of them. We've taken the 2 to like a Mexican restaurant. It's usually not.
It's loud there.
It's loud. There's kind of other kids are being crazy. You know, it wasn't too bad when like Caleb was a baby and my middle child was a baby and my oldest was like still would sit in a booster seat. But now like they both want to sit in a chair or a booth, and so they have freedom, and that's it's
sliding out of the seat.
just like it's not enjoyable. It's chasing kids while trying to eat food.
You go out, you're like, never again.
And you also have to be like, look at the waitress and be like, hey, I'm gonna take care of you. Trust me, this will be worth your time.
You're like, I know my situation and I will tip accordingly.
Yeah, like when my kid just like dumps the salsa on himself, and you're like, hey, look, just trust me. I know this is gonna be a lot to clean up afterwards. I'm gonna pay you for it.
I mean, my little girl's 6, and we went out to eat the other night, and like literally got her drink in the first service. Thank God I had a lid on it, so only about a quarter of it's filled.
Yeah.
But she knocked over. I was like, 2 minutes in.
Yeah.
Why?
I'd be like, 2 minutes. That was a new record. Good job, guys. Well, very cool, Richard. Why don't you tell everyone where they can follow you guys on social media, what your website is, how they can order meals, where your kitchen is located, and for anyone who's interested in being part of the Memphis Kitchen Co-op, like where they can get information.
Yeah, I mean, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram. Both businesses are Amplified Meal Prep and Memphis Kitchen Co-op. You could go. Our links or websites are right there. I think our website is Memphis Kitchen co-op.com, and then it's eatamped.com. I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up for you. Yeah, MemphisKitchenCo-op.com.
Yep, that's it. So, and then Eat Amplified. And then, yeah, I mean, if you want to eat healthier, we could help you out with that. I could help you out. I don't really do much in the nutrition. I kind of leave that to you guys, and you guys funnel a bunch of people to us, and that's really great. And then if you really want to start your own food business, it's been like a passion of yours, just give me a call, and I can help you out with that as well. When the pandemic hit, it's really showed a lot of people like, oh, I may need to have something in the back, to get ready.
Very cool. All right, guys. Thanks for coming on, Richard. MBS Fitness Radio out.
Thank you for listening to NBS Fitness Radio. If you enjoyed the podcast, be sure to share it with your friends, follow us on social media, and check out our website at www.nbsfitness.net. Hit the subscribe button and tune in next time for more NBS Fitness Radio.